A neighbor and family member of a young girl who was killed in an ATV crash 2 days ago said that accident should never have happened. In fact, she tells us the children involved rode up and down the street all summer long, and she was afraid something like this would happen. Maria Miller talked with her today and has those details tonight. Maria?
Marty, this woman actually called us. She lives directly across the street from the family and says she's a distant cousin. She tells me she knows there's going to be some tension after talking with us today, but said she had to. She says a child should have never died because it was a crash she says could and should have been avoided.
Just went down the road with a bunch of kids on the four-wheeler, and he said she hasn't come back yet, and everybody was out running out of the house, getting in vehicles and heading down the road.
That was the last thing Kathy White and her husband say they saw before hearing the tragic news Monday night. One of their neighbors and youngest cousins, 4-year-old Taylin Felker, was killed in an ATV accident less than a mile from their house. State police say Felker was riding on a Polaris Sportsman 500, similar to this one, with 4 other children, 3 and 9-year-old girls, a 1-year-old boy, and a 14-year-old driver, when they lost control and the ATV rolled, throwing Felker to the ground. It happened near the railroad tracks on Scratch Hill Road, just outside of Myersdale. Taylin's family is asking for respect and privacy during this very difficult time, telling us Wednesday they're not holding anyone responsible for the accident. They said they did fun things together as a family all the time, and riding ATVs was one of them, although this time something went terribly wrong. But White tells us it was an accident that could have been avoided.
All summer long, they've been riding that four-wheeler on the road.
In fact, she says there were many times she wanted to step in and call the cops, but instead kept to herself. Now she's full of regret.
If that mother would have had the sense to say, no, you're not taking that four-wheeler out of this yard, you could drive around the yard with the baby on, with the kids on, but to get on the main road and drive up and down, it could have been somebody else that caused the wreck.
While the Somerset County family mourns the death of a young child killed in an ATV crash 2 days ago, tonight one of their own family members speaking out, telling us that accident should have never happened. In fact, that woman told Maria Miller today it wasn't the first time the kids piled on an ATV and rode down the street. And she's here now with more on that. Maria?
Well, Marty, it's not clear tonight whether or not charges will be filed in this case, but a quick check of Pennsylvania law shows several apparent violations in Monday's accident. The woman I talked with today says she was afraid something like this would happen, and now she regrets not calling the police. Taylin Felker's family says she was a vibrant, happy, and loving child, taken from them far too soon after a violent ATV crash Monday night, less than a mile from her home. State police say the 4-year-old was thrown from a Polaris 500 Sportsman, similar to this one, when her 14-year-old cousin who was driving lost control. 3 other children were injured, including 3 and 9-year-old girls and a 1-year-old boy. Police said none of them were wearing helmets.
She'd be driving and had her one arm around the baby, driving with the other, and 2-3 kids on that four-wheeler all the time.
Kathy White says it wasn't the first time the kids piled on the ATV, riding up and down the road. She says it's something they did all summer long, and now she regrets not calling the police.
I can't stand by and let that little girl's death go for nothing. That little girl didn't need to die.
The Somerset County District Attorney told us Wednesday the ATV was registered but was not allowed on the road. Pennsylvania law says ATV operators ages 8 to 15 must have a valid safety certificate and can only ride on private land. As for passengers, that depends on the type of seat and what the manufacturer determines safe for operation. But one thing that is clear, in Pennsylvania, all riders are required to wear helmets. The family told us Wednesday they're only human. They said they did fun things together as a family, and riding ATVs was one of them, although this time something went terribly wrong. They said Taylin was their angel on earth, and she'll be forever missed, but they take comfort knowing she'll still be living through others thanks to organ donation.